So we met in the States. We met in San Diego because we both took a comedy class together. And through doing that comedy class, we got to do a lot of different shows together. And you really wanted to work on your crowd work.
Guys, if you're listening, it was bad. It was so bad.
Do you want to share it or should I?
I think as a bystander, I think it was worse for you watching it than it was. No. Living it.
It was brilliant. So like with stand-up, there's probably different things that everyone wants to work on as they evolve. But this one particular show was a Mother's Day show. And Harriet really specifically wanted to work on crowd work because being in the class, we learned how to kind of write and edit and basically just perform only what we had practiced. But then obviously watching comedians, we are like, oh yeah, I love how they just like vibe with the crowd. And so it was a Mother's Day show in the back room of the Comedy Palace. And it was definitely an older crowd. And I think if I remember right, they seemed to be like pretty like America. Like one guy had a shirt with an eagle on it.
Yeah. There was definitely someone in a cowboy hat. And I remember thinking as I started, this is going to go down poorly. This whole set. I never had a good set there. I never enjoyed a show there ever. But that was by far the worst. In fact, it was so bad that when I look back at anything else that's happening in my life, I'm like, you know what? It's not that show. Don't worry. If my leg fell off, I'd be like, you know what? I got through that show.
The worst is over.
So it's a Mother's Day show. And I guess at one point you said, since it's Mother's Day and, you know, you were far away from home, you would like a surrogate mother or grandmother or whatever, and you were looking for a volunteer.
So I was wondering, I might borrow like a mother from you look very nice.
And you just kind of like, how about you?
Would you be my parent just for this evening? Will you adopt an adult human?
And you like, it was like this older woman. It was this older woman in the front.
I'm not going to bring you up here. I'm not going to bring you up here.
And you're like, all right, what's your name? And she was like,
Doris.
And you're like,
Doris. What a great mother name.
That's a great name for a grandmother. Moving on.
And I never came back to her again. Ladies and gentlemen, I just left her hanging.
We're going to talk about money later, Doris, because I'm college fees, you know, loads of stuff like that. So, on money...
She was waiting the whole show to be like, what am I going to do? What's my act? There isn't one, Doris. There isn't one. That was possibly not the worst part of the show. There was just tumbleweed just blowing through that show the whole way. Actually, when I got off stage, I was like, it's over. Thank the Lord. Hooray.
That is a thing in stand-up where you're just relieved that you got it over with.
I think that was one of the worst, as in like badly done things I've ever done, not just in comedy, but ever. It was awful. But anyway, I survived. I'm still alive. I lived to tell the tale.
It always feels worse to you than it seems. It really wasn't as bad as you. I validate your feelings, but it was not as bad as you felt like it was. But like I remember looking when you were like, I'd love to involve a grandmother. How about you? I'm Doris. Great name. Moving on. I was like, wait, is she going to like talk to Doris? Like what happened to Doris?
Doris.
Is Doris ever going to wonder what she did?
It was just more or less like, huh?
What just happened?
You didn't bomb. You just confused the audience.
Good times on the road.
And then that year I got you a sweatshirt that said Doris on it.
I've still got it, in fact. I wear it around Christmas time.
Oh, I love it.